Hey loves, welcome back to my channel guys. It's your girl Danelis, aka Danny, and we talk about all things self-growth, okay? Mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. We talk about everything, all right? We get deep into spirituality, we get deep into self-love, all the good things. So you are at the right place, all right? Subscribe to this channel if these things resonate with you, these topics. So, authenticity, right? That is the topic of today. Authenticity. I used to worry so much about like how I made these videos, right? And I used to like literally edit for so freaking long on YouTube, which is why I stopped doing YouTube for a little bit, because I was such a perfectionist for such a long time. And I realize now that people literally focus so much on being perfect because of fear. You trying to be perfect is you radiating fear, because you have a fear of you looking dumb, you have a fear of you messing up, and this fear of yourself comes from the fear of other people, because you're so worried about who's watching, what they're gonna say, what they're gonna do. And I promise you, even if you were the most perfect person, even if you were the most talented person in the world, people are still gonna hate on you. They're still gonna judge you. So you might as well be your authentic self. You might as well be true to yourself, because whether or not you try to be somebody, they're gonna judge. And I, for such a long time, I grew up being taught to shrink myself to fit in with people. I grew up being taught to shrink myself to pretty much like please others. I was a very big people pleaser growing up. And all it did was drain me. Like, you literally shrink yourself. You're trying to be this perfect person so you don't make anybody upset, so you don't trigger anybody, so nobody judges you, they don't say anything. But you're the one left feeling drained and depleted at the end of the day. Why do you want to do this to yourself? Why? It's so hard to keep up with a life that is not real. And this goes for anything, right? Be authentic, okay? Because I promise you, people just don't want you doing better than them. So no matter how much you keep trying to get their approval, you're never going to get it. And I'm being so honest with you, you're never going to get it. It is what it is. Because you guys ever notice, like, you know, maybe you wear something really nice, you're looking good, you're feeling good, and somebody goes, oh my God, you think you're all that. I never said that. You said that. And when people say things like that, like when people would say that to me, I'd be like, honestly, that's a compliment. Because I'm not saying I think all that. You're saying that I think I'm all that because you think I'm all that. But you see, these people will never admit it. They'd rather be shady. They'd rather project it in a negative way, because you having that confidence threatens them. It threatens them because they don't feel like they could ever have that level of confidence that you have. And it sucks, because we all deserve to feel confident and beautiful and radiant. But again, some people genuinely feel like they could never be that. And so instead of looking at you and being like, damn, like, what can I learn from this person? How can I become more confident? How can I become this way? They rather just bring you down. And it's always the people that are closest to you. Always the people that are closest to you. Your family, your close friends, right? That are going to be shady. Because you changing, you evolving, you wanting to do better for yourself, that forces them to reflect on them. To reflect on what they're doing with their life, right? Let's say you're starting to, make more money. You're becoming more and more successful in your life. And you grew up in an environment where your friends and your family grew up in like, what do you call that? Like low class, right? So you grew up in an environment where your friends and your family were very low class. But you decided you wanted to break the cycle. You want to start making money, right? These people will literally, instead of saying, hey, I want to learn from this person, they're just going to be like, oh, she changed. She's acting so different. And they feel threatened by that. Because now, like I said, now they have to look back on like, damn, like I'm not doing that. I'm not starting a business. I'm not investing in stock. I'm not taking the time to actually learn about finances. Because most of the time, they're not. They're not. But you see, this is why us that decide to grow and be authentic and go for what we want, we end up winning at the end of the day, because we're not worried about anybody else. These people, they're so worried about judging you. They're so worried about bringing you down. They're so worried about focusing on how much you change and how much you think you're all that they're so distracted that they're not learning anything. But you are. And this isn't anything. If you want to be successful, if you want to be a spokesperson, if you want to start creating a business, like, you're so committed to your craft that you don't care what anybody thinks anymore. All right? And that's what I mean. Like, no matter how perfect you are, they're gonna judge. So this is for anybody out there that is scared to make that first step, scared to start a new skill, scared to go into something because they worry so much about messing up. You're gonna mess up. That's just one thing I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna have setbacks. You're gonna mess up. But failure is never an option. It may not work out the first time, but you're gonna go again and again and again and again until you become the greatest version of yourself, until you become successful. And you can let them watch. Let them watch you make the mistakes. But what they're gonna see also is they're gonna see you get back up, and they're gonna see you go on again, and they're gonna see you keep trying. And again, because you're putting in that energy of not caring what they think and you're focused on just going for it, you are going to win at the end of the day. You're not gonna win by just sitting around watching other people. That's just like what I think. You're not gonna win if you're so busy criticizing others, but you don't know how to celebrate the next person, you know? And that's something that I had to learn, was when I see somebody that is doing better than me, or that has more than me, or maybe just knows something like more than me. I used to be, and I'm gonna be so real with you, I used to be somebody that compared myself so much. I would always say phrases like, that's not fair, she doesn't deserve that, like in my head, or like, damn, like, she's this kind of person, like, why does she get that? But like, now when I look at people and they have something more than me, I'm like, okay, congratulations to her. I don't have that yet, and that's okay, because we're all in different parts of our lives, right? I look at life and everything as like a ladder, right? And so some of us may be up here, some of us may be down here, but we're all going to the same place at the end of the day. You know, it doesn't matter if you're first place, second place, fifth place, 100 place, you're gonna get there. So don't criticize and judge and all that, but rather congratulate each other, because at the end of the day, we're all connected. At the end of the day, we all want the same things for ourselves, which is happiness, fulfillment, success. We all want that, you know? And one of the ways that I had to start changing that about me is like, one of the ways that I started changing that about me is, one, recognizing those patterns, because I didn't even realize how much I did it until I started doing the inner work, until I started doing shadow work, until I started spending more time alone and just processing my emotions and thoughts, and like paying attention to them. I'm like, damn, like I do compare myself a lot, or damn, like I stay stuck to one person's version of who they were, or who I thought they were. Like, let's say somebody from high school did me so dirty. I'm the type that to this day I'd probably be like, oh no, they're like this. But that person in the 5 years could have changed, could have evolved, whatever. And so I don't have to support them. I don't have to be their friend. But if I see them winning, I don't have to judge them and criticize them, because I really don't know what kind of life and what intentions they have. So yeah, I stopped like comparing myself. And I think that in doing so, it allows you to focus more on yourself and on what could I do to be better? What could I do to get to this place? And then you just become more authentic as you keep going, because now you're not questioning how somebody got there, and you're not being shady towards them, but you're congratulating them and you're learning from them. And that's the point of life, is to learn from ourselves, our experience, and to learn from each other. And once you can see that, you can start implementing these little things that you look at that people are doing onto yourself, integrating that behavior and that knowledge, and becoming the better version of yourself, you know? Because you're focused on you, right? You're not focused on who's judging you, and you're also not focused on judging other people. Just gotta be authentic. And like I said, it's something that, you know, it takes time. It takes time, but with consistency, you can get there, right? With repetition, reminding yourself, bringing yourself back, being present, you can get there. We all have the power to be authentic, put ourselves out there and just show everybody what we got, the light that we have, and just know that life isn't a competition. So there's no need to worry about who's judging, who's doing better than you, who's doing worse than you. As long as you're happy, you feel at peace, you feel fulfilled, that is all that's important. And that's what's going to get you to the point in your life where you could just be authentic and just speak to love and light into this world unapologetically. Speak about your truth, speak about your passions, your goals, and not care. Because if you have a genuine heart, that's all that matters. It's all that matters. So I really hope this message goes out to anybody who just struggles with themselves or just needs a little, motivation or whatever. If you guys like this video and you guys like what I'm saying, subscribe to the family. Follow me on TikTok because I make a lot more videos on there, and I go live. So we have more of a community there. So definitely follow. And also where I respond to the most messages. So if you guys ever want to connect with me on there, yeah, I'll be there. I love you guys so much. So peace and love. Thank you guys so much for listening.